Williams says, "Damn, Mike and Coop, did y'all forget about off season, or is it not in the top five of the year? What do you have to say
It,
about that?"
so, Mike, I listed because I knew this was going to happen too. I listed the albums that I could just name off the top of my head that fell right outside my top five because when I thought I usually when I do a top five list, I usually pick about seven, and so right outside of that, I have Tyler's album on mine, but I have La Maquina, The Off Season, Pray for Haiti, The House is Burning, Falarin 2. Those were the albums that I had right outside my top five.
Well, let's talk about the off season because a lot of people in the chat are upset at the fact that J. Cole's album didn't make the top five of 2021. What do you have to say about that?
It's just not better than the albums that we named overall. Like Mike. So let's not even go to Boldy's album. Let's go to Wet Side's album. Like, is there even a like Mike? What's the best song between both of West Side's albums to me? Is it Hell on Earth 2?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Okay, there's nothing on the off season fucking with that. And don't
It's
confuse
not.
yourself like this.
Is there anything on
Mike,
the
there ain't
off
no
season fucking with Bash Money?
Mike or 99 Avarex or Vogue cover or Westheimer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when y'all are saying this, like Mike, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mike, I'm trying just being objective. Like, no,
You know, the thing is,
no.
man, I think with certain people,
And I'm bringing up,
I
and
think
I'm
with
bringing
certain
up West
people
Side
who have a
Project.
name aren't, mentioned, it's like we're
We don't do
more
names.
engulfed in the name of the individual, the artist, other than the actual album. Sometimes, because I think what are the
I was
strongest
raised.
songs on the off season? Would you say the Pride is the Devil? I like Let Go My Hand. That was my favorite song on the album.
Those are the best songs on there to me too. I think we talked about that. Those are your one and two, and my one and two just like separate,
Uh,
alternated.
I'm
But
gonna keep it 100. I was more impressed with Wale's album than I was J. Cole's album. Is that fair to say?
I was too. But how about this? I would probably have those albums right next to each other, like 8 or 9, 9 or 10, but not top five for either one. Just truthfully speaking,
Mm-hmm.
because it's like, because just when I wrote all these albums down, it's like, well, I don't think that the All Scene's better than La Maquina or The House is Burning by Isaiah Rashad. And so, Call Me If You Get Lost fell outside my top five. So, Mike, just off that alone, I would have it at number nine. And that's if I didn't put Wale's Falarin 2 ahead. And then in that case, it would be at 10, Mike. And then the heads are going to kill me because I haven't bought up Pray for Haiti at all by Much Homie.
Shannon Williams says West Side Gun's album was garbage. What are y'all talking about? The content on off season was better, in my opinion.
So, content, an album does not make
I think
just
that's
by
a
it.
conversation though. Does content not matter though? Like, what
No,
would
it
you
matters
say to
what you are
people? What would you say to people that aren't really into the dope boy rhetoric over and over and over on every single song?
That's fine, Mike, and you don't have to talk that way to make a classic rap album. See the album that's at number one on our list.
I got you, but I'm just saying, like, when someone else, let's just say Wale, for example, shows an array of content and you put that up against, something that maybe people feel like is one dimensional when it comes to maybe like a Bo Jackson or a Hitler Wears Headbands 8.
Mike, it's about the quality of the music at the end of the day. Let's compare this year to last year and go back to King's Disease 1. I had King's Disease as the fourth rated album last year. The three albums ahead of it, in my opinion, were Pray for Paris, From a King to a God, and Alfredo. Those are gangster rap albums, Mike. Street rhetoric, street talk. I didn't pick those albums ahead of King's Disease because of the rhetoric. I picked them because the albums were just better from beginning to end. King's Disease 2 is better than all the dope boy talk this year. That's why it's at number one. When you're great, Mike, you execute, and that's at the end of the day. Stop talking about his content like he's executing at the level that even a late career Nas is. There's no Death Row East on the off season since you want to bring up content. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nobody on the off season since you want to talk about content. There's no My Bible on the off season since you want to talk about content. You get what I'm saying, Mike? When people be saying this, they're saying it like Cole is operating at some sort of Nas level in terms of content. And it's like, no, he's operating in that realm, not on that level. And show me where it's there.
It's interesting because I think KD kind of had a similar, not KD, excuse me, KLD kind of had a similar type of thing going on with it in 2018. Like it came at a point in the year that was fairly early in the year. But as the year progressed, I forgot more and more about that album. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like this about the off season. Like I didn't forget it because it's in my notes, but I did kind of forget it as a listener. You know what I mean?
Neighbors, isn't Neighbors on KOD?
Yeah.
I think that's the only moment on there. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, no, he's capable. He has moments like that where he'll put together a record like that, concept and concept-wise, lyrically be who he is and deliver. It's just not enough of that going on for him for the level that everybody else keeps placing him at, especially his fan base. And that's why I just bring up, well, where's the Death Row East? Since you want to talk about content, let's go to our number one album, the guy that is like the king of content. And he just doesn't, and I'm just going to say this, Mike, he just doesn't excite you with his content the way that he does. Like it's just not as exciting, Mike. But there is some stuff that Nas did concept and content wise, Mike, that has stuck with his legions of fans for like 20, 25 years. Mike, how many times do I talk about the setup, Mike? Like I can still see the setup visually in my mind because he took it there. And so people got to stop acting like Cole is taking it there to that level. His records are not taking it there.
Well, with that being said, you're from Charlotte, North Carolina, right? So what is your standard for J. Cole?
No, Mike, this is what I'm saying is nobody wants him to be greater than me, but I'm going to call it like I see it. Is he great? Yes. Has he made a great album in my estimation in Forest Hills Drive? Yes. Does he have material out here song-wise to lend credence to how people feel about him? Yes, but not at the level that people keep saying. And so I'm going to keep on saying that. Because it's just an honest assessment. It's
but
not
based on the song, I guess is what I'm asking. Like, because you were bringing up the setup and things like that for Nas. Sonically for you and catalog-wise, where is your standard for Cole? Like, when you hear Cole stuff you wanted to meet, what standard? Like, what songs of his are that level for you?
So how about this? When they're talking about Cole and content, like the start of Forest Hill Drive, like January 28th. That guy.
Okay.
That guy on January 28th. Yeah, the guy on January 28th. Like that guy. Like that's not on the off season. That guy's not there on the off season like that. He's in that realm. But this is what I keep on saying. He's always in that realm. When are you going to take it to that store run, nobody, Death Row East level with the content? When? That's all I'm saying. Because he gets talked about that way. And so if we're going to talk about him that way, I'm going to expect it that way. So let's go to this, Mike. You said Pride is the Devil. You said Let Go My Hand or Pride is the Devil. So let's say those are the two best records on the off season, right? Mike, where would those records be on KD2? And you have the answer to my question because I don't think either one of those records are better than the 5 best records on KD2.
Yeah, that makes it difficult, man. It really does. And I think that a better...
This is not 96 Nas.
You know what, man? Listen. Forget Nas. Nas is Nas. You really want to sit here and listen to Skyzoo's All the Brilliant Things and listen to the off season and tell me which is the better album and who's the better MC on it. Like, let's be fair without, just putting names into the whole conversation. And that's what I had to do with Skyzoo's album, man. It's like, I'm going to listen to this album for, I don't know who the MC is. Like, obviously I do, but you know what I mean? Like, let's listen to these albums like the albums as opposed to this is Skyzoo and this is J. Cole,
No, Mike, so let's go back. Nobody in their right mind is about to sit up there and tell you after listening to AZ's album, go listen to AZ spit on Do or Die 2, and then go listen to Cole spit on the off season. You tell me who sound better this year. Like, what are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. It's like, no, Mike, we just gonna talk about it up and down for what it is. That nigga AZ spitting crazier than Cole on Do or Die 2. Like Mike, AZ is rhyming on a track with the guy who we feel is the best MC in the game, in Conway, and with the reinvigorated Wayne, Mike, and he ain't missed a step or a beat. Like, his verse is right there with theirs. Like, where you get what I'm saying? It's like, no, let's rate it on that level. Where Cole got that at? Where's that at? Where's it at? That's all I'm saying.
Where do you rank? Where do you rank the off season in 2021?
I would probably have it at about 9 or 10 right now, Mike. Somewhere between 9 to 12, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you think that it was better than Conway's album? Because I know that was the conversation.
I mean, so Mike, that's what I mean. Is like I prefer Conway's album. I'm not overly impressed with either one of the projects as a whole from what I expect from the artist. They're both really good projects. You know? It's like, like when I heard La Maquina, I was like, oh no, this is really dope from Conway, and he got more because I've heard more.
I was impressed with Florin too. You know what I'm saying? Like when I heard that, I was like, yeah, this is dope. And I mean, similar things with all right, I'm gonna go back and listen to the off season again. We'll probably revisit this conversation on Friday. But I remember hearing it and being like, I felt like Cole was trying too hard from the jump. Like the intro, he's another artist. Like the intro will tell you a lot about what you're about to hear on a Cole album.
Yeah. What's that? The freestyle where he's just spazzing out on? That was dope.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was the production or what, but again, he got a lot of different production on this one. I mean, listen, I was more impressed with the Big Sean and Hit Boy EP that was put out a week or so ago. That was dope.
That was actually a really dope project, Mike. Yeah. I don't know if I was more impressed with it than the off season. I think that might be a little bit of a reach, but I get what you're saying. I would put it in the same realm. And this is what I keep saying about Cole. It's like, no, I know he's great. I know he's capable of great things. Do them at a high level, and do them consistently. That's it.
I'll be fair. I'm going to go back and listen again, and we could talk about this Friday, but, from what I know of this year, I can't put it ahead of those 5 albums that I had up there. Shannon Williams said, Mike, Wale's album is definitely great in my opinion, but a lot of people don't rock with him. Yes, Michael Sanders says, no need to listen to J. Cole album again, Mike. Don't waste your time.
No, see, here's the thing. I don't think she understands Shannon. Mike don't really like rock with Wale like that, and he likes the album. It's a dope project, and that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm talking about with Cole. So Cole needs to have the ability to do as an MC what Wale just did to you is that put forth a project from somebody who who you're not a big fan of and say, hey, you want to know what that? He just came through with a dope ass project.
Is Certified Lover Boy a top 10 hip hop album of 2021?
No. I have Meek's album, Donda's album, and Certified Lover Boy all right next to each other as albums that I thought people were going to bring up that have no business being talked about as top 10 albums.
So you got the off season over Certified Lover Boy?
Yeah.
Okay, what was your issue with Certified Lover Boy? Because I can give you mine.
I mean, I'm about to say I have many, but it's a solid project. It's not anything special or stellar going on there. I mean, I think when we did our review, we spoke to the 25-year-old rhetoric coming from a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
Spoke to him being carried, it appears, by some of the highlights on the album by the feature artists. So those would be some of the main drawbacks, just if memory serves. And this is what I mean. When you make dope shit, it just sticks to people's ribs. Like, I had to think about what my critiques for Certified Lover Boy were right quick because I haven't listened to it because it really didn't stay with me. The same way the off-season really didn't stay with me. The same way Donda really didn't stay with me. Same way Meek's album really didn't stay with me. It's because the albums weren't that strong. When the album is strong, it stays with you. Not just a record or two, But the album, you can go get a record or two from anybody.
No, no, definitely. No, I think that's pretty clear and concise as far as like what we were all thinking about Certified Lover Boy and what we kind of said in our review as well. Yeah, just
And
the lack of growth and like you said, him, it's sounding like the featured artists were the main artists on that record, but again,
even,
that's another one that I think.
and and let's go back to J.
Uh-huh.
Cole right quick. Like when everybody's like, "Oh, y'all ain't got Cole here, y'all ain't got Cole there." It's like, name the records, show me the albums. Like, just show it to me because it's like I want them to have it probably more than you do, but show it to me. You know, give me the proof. Like, cause I'll throw some records at you from other cats. Like, you know what I'm saying, and just be like, "Where's this at? Where's this at? If he is that, where is this at?"
Right. No, 100%. I mean, and that's the only way that albums should be even considered. We can't just give people points because of who they are.
Right. We don't talk about the off season because it's Cole and he has a big core following. Ain't nobody really been talking about the off season. Like the off season ain't been bubbling this year like that.
All right, Terminator 2 says you got Drake, but not Common or Lloyd Banks. Shaking my head. What did you think about the? We'll talk about the Common because Terminator 2 keeps bringing up Common.
Why we shouldn't make people suffer by talking about the Common, but okay.
Yeah, listen, man, the Common album was very forgettable. Yeah. Listen, Common said that he wants to work with Kanye again. I think that's a good idea.
I mean,
go get some.
Please. For the sake of us all, please.
Okay, and as far as the other individual here, Lloyd Banks. What did you think about the Lloyd Banks album?
I thought that was a really good project. It was just one of those things that didn't really stay. It's definitely going to be in the top 20. It's probably going to fall somewhere between 10 to 15, depending on who drops in this next few weeks.
Yeah, I think it could be in the slept-on conversation. I think it's one of those albums that, if you listen to.
I kind of wish he would have dropped it later in the year now that I'm looking back at it, because it's like I felt like maybe it would get more of the recognition it deserved had he dropped it like maybe in the summertime.